From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Letitia Wallace begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, police have opened fire on a gunman in Berrien after he allegedly shot at them this morning. Residents say they heard around a dozen shots as they recounted the frightening incident. A Sunday morning at Shorewell Park turned into a shooting scene.
There were shots fired up at the park. No sooner later we look around and here he comes running through the park, across the road. Oh, it'd be 12 shots.
Well, all I heard was a loud bang, like a really loud bang. And then after I heard that, like it sounded like a cap gun getting shot, like just tunk, 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 tunk. Well, I said to the police that I walked out here and there was people everywhere. Yeah, it wasn't a real good feeling. I thought that's a little bit close to home.
Police swarmed on the Cannon Court area around 8:30 this morning.
A report of an armed male acting aggressively, threatening and firing a weapon. It was a very confronting incident for everybody involved.
Police say the man, who is known to them, opened fire on officers with a shotgun when they arrived.
Attempts to negotiate with the man to disarm himself were unsuccessful, and after firing at police he was shot in the shoulder.
No officers were physically injured.
All members involved are receiving the appropriate support, counselling and other necessary arrangements to help them.
Forensic police retraced the gunman's steps throughout the day, interviewing nearby residents and collecting evidence. Residents say a woman walking her dog in the neighbourhood was also injured, reportedly from shot fragments.
I'm aware that a member of the community has sustained an injury to a facial injury.
The alleged offender, who is in a stable condition, was due to undergo surgery this afternoon. An investigation by the Professional Standards Unit is underway. Charges are yet to be laid. Meanwhile, a man has sustained a significant laceration to the stomach in an alleged wounding attack at Lverston overnight. Police attended a Smith Street address around midnight and arrested a male youth at the scene. The victim was taken to the Northwest Regional Hospital and remains in a stable condition. Police say the pair is known to each other and there was no threat to the wider community. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. And nearby in Devonport, an 18-year-old man was arrested late yesterday for allegedly causing injuries in a wounding incident on Morris Avenue on Friday. He was charged and bailed to appear in the Devonport Magistrates Court next month. The injured man is in a stable condition in hospital. The Greens leader has labelled today's COVID case drop to below 1,000 as rubbery, claiming people can't access RAT or PCR tests. It comes as the state government is once again urged to release its COVID-19 plan for schools, with the end of holidays fast approaching.
Conquering the playground before sliding into the classroom. Labor questioning if schools will be safe for students to return.
Children under 5 can't be vaccinated, and children who are between 5 and 11 will only have 1 dose before they return to school. And like many parents across Tasmania, we're very nervous about what that means for the well-being of our children.
While pushing for a plan to be released 3 weeks out from the start of Term 1.
It's important the government gets this right. We don't want to see schools shutting because the government hasn't been prepared. We want to make sure that the workforce is supported and that they aren't left to carry the burden alone. It's going to be incredibly tough for them.
The Health Minister says air purifiers have arrived for classrooms and ventilation works are being addressed.
There will be very clear clarity towards the middle to the end of this week, information for parents so they can be assured that our schools are safe.
The latest daily case numbers in Tasmania dipping to 825, but the Greens believe the figures are not accurate, claiming many locals are struggling to get tested.
These numbers are seriously rubbery figures because people can't get a RAT or a PCR test, and the government has made it even harder for people to get hold of a scarce RAT.
We've distributed some 50,000 rapid antigen tests overall, almost 5,000 in the last 24 hours.
Meanwhile, the Salvation Army has welcomed a grant from the state government COVID care package announced on Friday, boosting its services for the growing number of vulnerable community members directly impacted by COVID-19.
Once we receive a referral, within 24 to 48 hours, we have definitely made contact and ensured a delivery of food, or if we are required to collect any medication, to get to people within our community as well.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
London Arena has won praise from English media pundits who believe the venue should be a regular Ashes venue into the future. Tasmanians have turned out in force on day 3 of the 5th and final test, as attention moves to ensuring the ground continues to host big-name fixtures.
Under sunny skies and warm temperatures, these crowds were desperate to get their Ashes fix. Large queues forming, ready for a big day of cricket.
Really looking forward to it. I think there's an exciting day's cricket coming up.
We're going to possibly see the result at least narrowed down, if not locked in.
All creatures great and small were on hand, along with a few interstate visitors.
Seems like a cool spot. Keen to sit on some grass all day as well.
The picturesque views and lively wicket winning acclaim from touring journalists.
The crowd come in and make it feel really busy, which is great, creates an atmosphere. And the pitch so far has played pretty nicely, just got to apply yourself.
That grass bank is something for an Englishman. We don't get those back home, and you know, I'm very jealous of the fans who get to sit there on picnic rugs.
Calling for Hobart to be added to the schedule on a more regular basis.
I'd certainly like to see Hobart as part of a rotation, you know, a kind of regular feature that maybe every other series.
A lot of the Barmy Army, more of just the expats, would want to come here and soak up this great place.
And before the final ball of this test match has been bowled, Cricket Tasmania is already picking out its next target, reportedly putting its hand up to host India in a test match, potentially beaming our state into 1 billion homes. The state government backing Blunston's abilities.
Clearly we'd be willing, ready and able, as has been demonstrated.
It should be here more often. Any excuse to get down to Tassie is a good excuse.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian victims and survivors of crime can now access even more support. Reforms have progressed to the regulatory framework which offers financial help and assistance. Attorney General Elise Archer says victims will be able to seek greater financial support as a result of trauma or injury suffered to ease financial burdens. The latest average compensation award sits at just under $20,000. Tasmanian cyclist Nicole Frayne has secured the biggest win of her career at the National Road Championships. The Launceston-born rider scored a shock victory in the women's elite road race this afternoon. In a tight and intense race, Frayne made an attack on the last lap with just a few kilometres left, holding off some fast finishers to cross the line in first place.
It's time to celebrate. Fantastic Frayne has her moment of fame. She is the Australian champion.
The win comes after she finished 7th in the individual time trial earlier in the week.
Good evening everyone. 28 degrees in Launceston today, Berrien 24 and 23 in Hobart and Devonport. Bushy Park and Ouse both saw the state's top today of 29 degrees, Grove 25, 23 in St Helens and Lyowini, Lowhead 22 and the Islands and Strawn 21. Mostly clear skies can be seen about the west of the state today, with cloud about the east and partly cloudy conditions elsewhere. Further out, an extensive area of cloud can be seen extending from the northwest of the mainland to the south of South Australia, while cloud increased about the east of the mainland during the afternoon. Tomorrow shows a cold front over the northeast of Tasmania, while a high to the south of Western Australia extends a ridge into southern South Australia. Troughs and associated lows lie over the mainland. And we'll see northeast to northwesterly winds tomorrow, 10 to 20 knots, shifting westerly 15 to 25 knots in the late morning and afternoon. And there is a strong wind warning for the southeast and southwest coasts and the east of Flinders Island, including Banks Strait and Franklin Sound. Partly cloudy and 24 in Hobart tomorrow, Dover reaching 23, 25 degrees in Ouse. Launceston reaching a top of 27 and partly cloudy, Devonport and Scottsdale both 25. Berrien a top of 25 tomorrow, a shower or 2 and 20 in Strawn, Stanley 23. And in the east, late showers and 28 in St Helens, at Swansea 25 and 27 in Ross. And the UV tomorrow is extreme 11s across the state, with sunset expected at 8:47 p.m. Looking on to Tuesday, showers about the west, far south and northeast. Mostly fine on Wednesday, with winds tending easterly during the day. And on Thursday, fine apart from the chance of morning fog. 25 in Perth tomorrow, cloudy and 23 in Melbourne, Canberra and Sydney partly cloudy, 34 in Cairns and possible storms in Darwin and Alice Springs. And currently Hobart 18 degrees and mostly cloudy, Launceston sunny and 24, and 20 in Devonport and sunny. And Letitia, that's all in weather tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Chelsea. And that's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a lovely night.